Hello everyone, this is ACHAIA Akaya bringing you another Shoutcast. Goody wishing his opponent good luck, have fun, and Crybaby returning the favor. This is Game 2 of a Best of 5 series in the Zotac Cup. This is Series number 6. These tournaments are being held on the European servers, and I believe the prize money for the first place in this tournament right now is 100 quid, or pounds, I guess. I guess 100 quid is the slang term, so my English buddy tells me 4 pounds over there. But anyways, the blue Terran player, Crybaby, is going to be spawning in the top right corner, and then of course in the lower left we do have our Protoss player, the red Protoss being Goody. And I just cannot say enough about how good Goody is playing through this tournament. He has completely dominated every opponent. The only person that I've seen that's actually gotten a win on him since the semifinals, or since the round of 8 rather, was Sen, and they went 1-1 in the first 2 games, and then in the third game Sen was not able to take down Goody. So Goody of course moved on to the finals, and it looks like Goody might take down an SCV very early. That SCV barely getting away with 5 hit points, and it looks like the SCV moving out on the map. The probe was thinking about chasing him for a second there, but ultimately going to move back. And a lot of SCVs are off the mineral line for Crybaby right now, so I kind of wonder how bad that's going to hurt his economy, because as you can see, only 7 mining at this point, which he's got 1 building this barracks here, he's got 1 chasing this probe down, he's got 1 out here in the middle of expansion, then he's got 1 scouting out Goody. So in the meantime, Goody only has 1 probe outside of his base. The rest of them are on his mineral line, so that could be a significant advantage early on with for the amount of time that he's had those SCVs off the mineral line. And of course he loses that first SCV trying to attack that pylon for some reason, rather than scouting out to see if the Protoss player Goody had picked up a gas yet or not. He decides to just let his SCV get killed apparently, and a pylon going down behind the mineral line here. So we are going to see a pretty economic game from Goody, it looks like, as he is throwing down another pylon pretty early, although he is supply blocked right now, so of course that is pretty necessary. And he might be hiding some tech nodes just to cybernet his core. So once again, as I had mentioned, Goody sticking with his very systematic opener. He seems to open the same way, although it seems that after he gets his second and third gateways up, he tends to differentiate his build a little bit. Especially against Terran, we saw him go with the earlier robotics facility so that he could get an observer up into Crybaby's base, because of course Crybaby, being Terran, has walled off his expansion the last game. Although he has not done so yet, there is still, you can see a little bit of an opening between this barracks and the supply depot, although he does have the early tech lab again, so he will be able to get that Marauder tech. And 1 Marine running around scouting on the map, most likely at this point looking for any proxy pylons or gateways to make sure that there is no goofy cheese going on right now. And 1 SCV doing a little more scouting, pretty low on HP, is going to have to run because there is a Zealot out for Goody at this point. And then again, seeing the early robotics facility get down, this will allow him to get an observer out, because again, you no longer need the observatory to get observers out. You can build an observer straight from the robotics facility now without any additional buildings. They are slightly more expensive, but they are much more easily to access. And fortunately for Protoss, that is a very good thing, because that is the only mobile detection that they have. The only other detection that they have other than the observers is of course the photon cannons, whereas Terrans have the scan sweep, they have the Ravens, and they have the ability to build turrets. So more methods of detection, and of course scan sweep and Ravens are both mobile detection types. And it looks like Crybaby is going to try to hold this Xel'Naga watchtower to keep an eye on this side of the map here to make sure that Goody does not take any extra expansions over here, and doesn't try to hide any kind of a proxy building, pylons, or anything like that. And Crybaby moving out with a couple Marauders and 1 Marine. It looks like he's going to throw down a bunker near his expansion so that he can defend that in case he does get hit early again. And looking back at his base, back at Goody's base, he's already got 1 Immortal out, so he's very far ahead of Crybaby right now, going for a much more heavy tech build. A much more heavy econ build, while Goody at this point has a very heavy tech build. So getting out those stalkers early and getting out that Immortal super early, of course, because he had that robotics facility due to building it early to get that observer. And it looks like he is going to stop up short at the ramp for the expansion, although moving in at this point, I don't believe he is aware at this point that the bunker is there, although I don't know if this bunker is going to be enough to hold off this Protoss army, because these Immortals of course do a lot of damage. And it looks like they are able to take down that bunker, although there are 2 Immortals here. And Crybaby GG's already. So this game over in very short order. We're going to move on to Game 3 already. Goody taking him down very quickly. Anyways, we'll see if Crybaby can change it up and possibly do a little bit better on the last game here. or the third game anyways. If he's able to win, we will be moving on to game 4, but we'll see what happens here in a second.